past week, I received another screener from the UK. Sacrilege is directed by David Creed and stars Tamaryn Payne, Emily Wyatt, Sian Abrahams, and Naomi Willow. Sacrilege follows the four stunning female leads on a weekend getaway. The girls are lifelong friends who want to step away from the world, their problems, and rocky relationships to unwind. The house they rent is incredible and remote. Things start off well, but some unwanted visitors and a strange party in the woods bring the fun to a screeching halt. The four female leads really sell their friendship. I had the privilege of sitting down with director David Creed and lead Tamaryn Payne. Definitely check out that video interview. Part of the interview covered how important it was to have the four main actresses gel. Actors sell emotions, of course, so the friendship could have been faked even more, but it was important to Creed to have the emotions be as authentic as possible. To increase the authenticity, he spent a long time scouting locations that they could use for exteriors as well as interiors. The house and the related grounds served as the bulk of the sets. Accommodations for the cast and crew, equipment storage, and offices were all found in the same house. Making sure the friendship was as easygoing and as authentic as possible went a long way to keeping the audience engaged in the movie. As with many horror movies, there are a lot of spots where the audience yells at the characters on screen about missing very clear red flags and continuing behavior that we all know will lead to dark places. Having one solidly grounded element helped me look past some of these "why aren't they leaving" moments. It didn't hurt that the four leads are absolutely gorgeous. The course of the horror in the movie is predictable. There aren't many surprises through the first and second act plot-wise. One thing that was a very pleasant surprise, especially given the budget of the project, was the effects. Creed is a fan of practical effects, and in horror, a lighter hand is generally the smarter move. The movie opens up with someone spontaneously combusting. No cheesy rubber band-like CG flames playing on a loop here. They started a dude on fire 3 times to get the shot. Some clever photography was used to really sell the effect, and it works. The other effects was some very well done makeup drastically aging up a character, and implementing prosthetics was used in a couple times in the movie. As a result, also very convincing. Without delving into spoiler territory, the end of the movie is also fairly predictable. I guess I'd call it new age horror predictable. That's a solid-sized hint. While there wasn't any big revelation for the audience, it was nice to see that the horror element had a deeper meaning in the character's life. I may be a broken record with that sentiment lately, but I'd like to see the attempt at a deeper meaning instead of it being horror for the sake of horror. Sacrilege doesn't change the genre or find a new story to tell, but it's well put together with a competent hand and eye for horror. The pacing could be shifted to be slightly more balanced, but all in all, it's a good ride. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more new movie coverage and interviews. You aren't going to want to miss out. Remember to listen to So Wizard Podcast every single week wherever you get your podcasts. So Wizard Podcast can also be found on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you get multiple monthly bonus shows. SoWizardPodcast.com is your resource for reviews, recommendations, videos, merchandise, and more. We love hearing feedback, so drop us a note in the comments or get a hold of us on social media. All of our accounts can be found after the show and in the show notes. On a more personal note, this past January, I released a comic book along with a good friend of mine. Social Studies. It's a day-in-the-life comedy comic, it's tough alliteration, about the typical high school experience. We have a cast of unique characters with a lot of individuality. The art style is greatly inspired by the cartoons of the 90s that we grew up on. Check it out at socialstudiescomic.com. Thanks.